Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? In today's video, we're going to be looking at some cheap bargains for you lot. Now, I recorded this before and I kind of included good value mixed in with the cheap bargains. Now we're just going to go for cheap bargains and I'll do another video on the good value players. Some might overlap, but in general, they're going to be quite different. So let's get straight into it then. The goalkeepers, they're hard to find for cheap because you can't really get cheap goalkeepers exactly. The difference between the lowest and the highest goalkeeper is 1.5 mil. So I've got one 4.5 mil and one 4 mil. So the 4.5 mil we're going with is Sanchez from Brighton. Last season he was the highest point scorer at 4.5 mil. So you can't really go much wrong with that. The other one you got is Raya, but we'll go into these two in the next video in a bit more detail. But yeah, I think Sanchez for 4.5 mil is probably one of the best you can get. Brighton, it does depend on how they start the season. They haven't got the easiest of starts, and that's why I'd probably stray more towards the Raya side of it. But Sanchez over the season, 4.5 mil, you can't really go wrong with it. Next one in the goalkeeper department is Scherzinger for 4 million. I think he's a bit hit or miss because Rodak may start, he may start, who knows? Well, Fulham fans will know, so let me know in the comments, Fulham fans, who you think will start out of those two. Scherzinger was the goalkeeper for the last 12 or 13 games of the championship season, with 4 of that it was all Rodak. So it suggests Silva prefers Rodak, but gave Scherzinger time because they'd already pretty much won the league. For 4 million, if you want a goalkeeper for that price, he's probably the one to go for because he's probably going to play more than any other ones for 4 million. Now moving on to the defence, I've got quite a few here, 4.5 mil. I did have Perisic in it, he was 4.5 as well, but I've put him into the other video, so you'll see that next week at some point, or this week. I don't know when I don't even know when this is going to come out, to be honest with you. But yeah, the 4.5 defenders that we have, we've got Ait-Nouri coming up first, and he's a bit hit or miss because he can get injured. And Wolves could also bring in a left wing back that we don't know of yet. Wolves fans, if you are linked to anyone, let me know in the comments and tell me how good they are if they're going to displace Ait-Nouri. But Ait-Nouri at 4.5, if Wolves do well, which I don't expect them to do, but if they do well, haha, do. Anyway, if they do well,
there we go again.
Ait-Nouri will probably get quite a few assists. When I say quite a few, I'm saying 5 or 6, but for fullbacks, that's a good number. And clean sheets, if they start this season, I started last season regarding clean sheets, then Ait-Nouri will probably get quite a few. Moving on to Tomiyasu, he'll probably be in the next video as well, if I'm honest. But for 4.5 million is the best priced Arsenal defender. And even though in my last video, I know I made a mistake saying he got assists and then checked and he only had 1, but he still had 9 clean sheets, and that's a decent number of clean sheets. If he could just up the contribution tally, 4.5 million, brilliant bargain. You got yourself a nice little cheap option from a top club as well there. Next one is Kufal. I think he had a few injury worries last year, but I think overall 4.5 million is a great little bargain. You can pick yourself up if you want to get a West Ham defender in there and you don't want to go with a Kazuma. Stick to football, go Kufal. I think he's a great option at 4.5 million. Next up is James Justin at Leicester. Obviously last season he was injured for the majority, came back, contributed a little bit. Can't remember how many goal contributions he got. I don't think he got too many, but he didn't play that many games. This season from the get-go, he'll probably be at left wing back, and I expect him to get quite a few contributions. When he played for England, I saw that he liked the attacking the back post, and I saw that he also could use both feet. So I'm really impressed with what I saw, and I think if he takes that in this season, you'll see him popping up with goals and assists as that wing back. He won't get Trent numbers, but I reckon he'll actually do pretty well, and he'll probably be Leicester's top assister, to be honest, outside of James Maddison, of course. Next up, it's a little bit of a shock one, and it kind of depends what happens with Tellez and Shaw, and if he starts the season. Malacia is Man United's new signing. I'm pretty sure they got him from Feyenoord, but I really like the look of him. And for 4.5 mil is, I think, the joint cheapest Man United defender. And I reckon, considering Shaw and Tellez, I'm pretty sure they're both 5 mil. I think Malacia is a really good option, and I don't really see where you can go wrong with him. So yeah, if I'm you, I'm getting Malacia in my team. Providing that he starts, obviously. I'd wait for a few pre-season games to put him in there, but keep him in mind because he could be a really good option at 4.5 million. Next up is Nico Williams, and this is a bit of a one which not many people will pick up on. He's going to Nottingham Forest in a deal around 17 million, so we already know what he does because we saw it at Fulham and he got really good stats at Fulham. If you can bring that into the Prem with Forest and put some balls in for Taiwo Awoniyi, or however you say that name, I'm going to call him Taiwo. But Taiwo. Could score quite a few goals from Williams' crosses. We also know he can shoot from distance. We also know he can do free kicks very well. He's good on set. He's good on corners as well. So, and you know, with the likes of Worrell and Yates and people like that on corners, you could see yourself get some assists. And at 4 million, is the best for me. Is the best value 4 million that you'll get in the game. So if you're not going to go for that all luxurious backline, which quite a few people are doing this year, I'd definitely have Nico Williams in there as a cheap option where you can put the money elsewhere in your team and he will play and get you some like good points if you ever want to put him in your team if he's got a good game week. All right, moving on to midfield. My midfielders, I'll be honest, they're not great bargains. That's because you can't really get many great bargains. The thing with midfielders is looking for good value, and that's the next video on FPL. So that won't be in this video. In this video, we've got two 5.5 mils, two 5 mils, and two 4.5 mils. So it gives you a bit of a variation with the lower priced ones. My 4.5 mils. Now, a lot of people are going for Pereira. He's at Man United now, but he could be going to Fulham. However, the issue with that, no one is really reading news outside of the Fulham talk. Yes, he is probably pretty close to signing that, but he has stated, or his agent has stated, I'm not sure which one, that he wants Flamengo more than Fulham because he wants to go back to Brazil. So we will see where that goes. And if he does go to Fulham, 4.5 mil, he will be the one picking out passes. We saw that bang he scored against, I think it was Southampton a few years ago for Man United. He can score from outside the box and he can have a cracking shot. So if he goes to Fulham, definitely pick him up over the two I'm going to say. But the two 4.5s I'm going to say, because obviously some people are saying Harry Winks as well because he looks like he got Everton. I'm saying Chukwuemeka and Pellistri. Pellistri is a bit of a rogue one because he might not actually play. I just think there's a real good player in there, and I think if Ten Hag decides to use him, I think he's better than Elanga, which is a bit of a wild shout, but I think he is. I think Elanga could be better through the middle, but out wide, I think Pellistri is better than him. Chukwuemeka is my other one. He had an amazing under 19 Euros. Probably player of the tournament. Maybe the French striker got it in above him. But for me, Chukwuemeka was brilliant. That's not just because I'm a Villa fan. He's just a brilliant player. I do think he's struggled to show it in the Prem so far, but you got to give a lad time at that age. I do think at 4.5 million, if you want a little player who might play and he might come into it and his value might rise and get you more money for your team, I think Chukwuemeka could be a good little asset to hold on to. At 5 million, I'm going to go with Dewsbury Hall is my first one. At the end of last season, he proved his worth and he proved that he could be a really good asset in this season. I do think in the middle you should probably look mostly for wingers, but if you want a cheap player, there's not many cheap wingers at 5 mil, except for my other one I'm going to say. Dewsbury Hall could be a good option, for a good low price option. My other one for 5 mil is Leon Bailey. He might not play that much. We don't know, but he said he's going to come back a different beast. And if what he said is true, Leon Bailey for 5 million, I think he's dropped 1 or 1.5 million from what he started last year. I think he could be a real good option. If he starts playing more and more, even if he's not getting the contributions, 5 million, maybe pick him up. Because eventually he will get the contributions, I believe in him. At 5.5 mil now, we have Fornals. I think Fornals will get contributions. Again, 5.5 mil, there's probably better out there like Ramsey and stuff. But I'm just trying to give you other options that you might not have spotted. Fornals will get assists, he'll get goals. Not loads, he might get like 5 of each. But I think he's an option. And I want you to just get options from this video. If that's all you take from it, just have options. The other one is Neto. Neto is going really under the radar. Wolves have an amazing start to the season. I think they've only got one difficult game in the first 6. And I think 5.5 mil, definitely keep an eye on Neto because he could get you he could have a really good start to the season and get you quite a few goals and assists in the first 6 games. I think those first 6 will set you up well because obviously we get a wild card, then we get free transfers during the World Cup, then we get another wild card probably second half of the season. So that's essentially 3 wild cards that you're going to get. So if that's me, I'd get people in who have a really good start to the season, then wild card to the World Cup, then change at the World Cup, and then use your other wild card. Going up front now, up front's difficult to find you some bargains because at 4.5 mil, there's not many there's no one that's going to play. Gale's probably off to the Championship to either a Watford or a Birmingham. Your other one, I can't remember what the lad's name is from Leeds, but he probably won't play that much. When you got Bamford and your Rodriguez, and they're looking at bringing one or two other forward options in. And your other ones like Lyle Taylor aren't going to play. Cameron Archer is my pick at 4.5 mil. I don't think he'll play. Well, he won't play, especially at the start of the season. But the potential he has and what he's proven in the under-20s for England or in the under-21s, whatever it is, and also in the Championship with Preston, he's proven that he's got a real clinical edge and he can come off the bench and get you goals. And, you never know. By the end of the season, he could be pushing for starting places. I don't personally think that'll be the case, but I think he'll definitely come off the bench and grab a few goals in the Prem, and he'll do well in the Cups as well. If they'll go on a Cup run, get Archer in, because he'll be one of the reasons we're going on that Cup run, in my eyes, and it could give him momentum to go and get some goals in the Prem. So I think at 4.5 mil, he's probably your best bet. So yeah, keep that in mind. Last but not least, we have Dennis Undav at 5.5 mil. Fogden has spoke about this guy for ages. I do occasionally look over at the Belgian league because I keep an eye on Richie Delat. Yeah, Dennis Undav, top goal scorer in the Belgian league last season. I think he's going to be a decent little player for Brighton. Don't think he'll be amazing. I think he'll have a similar first season to Morpay. I think Morpay got 7 or 8 first season. I think it'll be similar for Undav. But with Brighton's front line and the midfielders seem to be getting a few more goals last season, I think that Undav will get some assists on top of his goals. So I think that 5.5 mil is your best bet for a cheaper striker if you want that striker to just rotate in and out of your squad. Anyway, that is going to be it. I hope you have enjoyed. I hope you're looking forward to the good value video coming out soon. I'll be doing more FPL videos, so let me know in the comments what you want to see. If you have any ideas, any suggestions for any other videos, let me know. Hopefully over the next few weeks there'll be a few more for you to enjoy. But until then, I'll see you soon. Like, subscribe. Have a good time. Bye-bye. Tay what?
Shut up and sit down.